For this center, we're going to be working on graphing, and this is a different type of graphing than what we did before with our Christmas trees right before Christmas break or winter break, whatever you want to call it. This is called a line plot, and you're going to see this a lot on CMAS when we get to that in April. So we're going to start working on it now. It says line plot with fractions. Don't worry, we're not adding fractions or anything yet. We're just graphing the data from here. So you're going to have a similar worksheet that you're going to work on with different questions, and you'll have the answer key to check your answers as well. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create our graph right here. So we have to look at the data on this side. And we also need to create our labels. So we would want to write those from least to greatest. So I can do that real quick. So we have 2, and then 2.5, and 3, then 3.5, and then we have 4 and 5. It's hard to write with this. Okay, then we can look at our data and we can say, well, I see a 3.5 right here. That means I'm going to find 3.5 right here, and I'm going to just put an X. So that shows me that I have one length of fabric that's 3.5 yards. Then I look at my next one, that's 3 yards. So I'm going to put an X over the 3 yards, meaning that I have one length of fabric that is 3 yards. And I'm going to continue through and do this for the whole thing, for all of these numbers that I have over here. And just placing an X wherever they are. Why is it not working? Oh my gosh, now I just made a mess. But anyway, so we have an X. 3 again. 3 again. So we have 3 that are 3 yards. We have 4 yards, and then 2.5, and 2.5, and 2. So we can see that we have one length of fabric that is 2 yards, 3 that are 2.5, 3 that are 3, 1 that's 3.5, 1 that's 4, and 1 that's 5. So then we can look and we can see how many dresses did she make in all. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She made 10 dresses. So we're using what we charted. We are using this graph to help answer these questions. How many dresses used more than 3 yards? So we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 dresses used more than 3 yards. How many more dresses used 3 than 4 yards? How many more dresses used 3 than 4? So here's 3, and we only used 1. So how many more dresses used 3 yards rather than 4 yards? How many dresses used 3 yards or less? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many yards did she use in all? So that would be adding some fractions. So we're not going to do that question because we have not learned that yet. If the fabric was cut equally, how many yards of fabric would each dress? So we're not going to do that either because that's going to have to deal with fractions. So all you're going to do is use your data that you chart, and you're going to answer some questions. If there's one that seems like you need to add the fractions, let your teacher know, and then we can cross those ones out for you. Let your teachers know if you have any questions.